Do you feel like the pandemic has somehow changed you? Do you feel more reticent to go out? Did you used to go for walks or jog on beautiful mornings, but you don't do that anymore? I'm Dr. Donna Rockwell. I'm a clinical psychologist, and I'm the founder and CEO of Already Famous with Dr. Donna. It's an online community for women and girls to help encourage self-confidence, inner worth, and establishing a sense of meaning in life in order to be happy. Recently, the CDC, Center for Disease Control, released a study, and they talked about this increase in sadness among teenage girls in particular, far more than boys. And I want to talk about that for a moment. As women, I don't know if you'll agree or not, and girls, we tend to take in other people's feelings. Perhaps it's evolutionary, as we have been mothers forever, and we've had to have this sense of empathy and compassion going outward. So when negative things happen in the world, even if they're across the ocean, we take it in. We feel the sorrow of the world, actually. And that's what can help create a sense of sadness or overwhelm, not only in your personal and school life or professional life, but in the world at large. We're like a sponge, we absorb all of that. So we need to, for our own social justice work, to stand up for ourselves, to make sure that our one and only existence is fabulous and full. We need to fight for our own mental health. We need to fight to stay present and connected to the moment when the whole world seems like it's not connected to anything. This is why I've always been so committed to my own mindfulness practice, which is really, honestly, just another way to say training the mind to stay in the present moment rather than getting pulled away in the past or the future with thoughts about yesterday of what you might have done wrong and tomorrow what you may do wrong. And just start to understand that this is nothing wrong with you. This is the nature of our human minds themselves. They jump around. And in order for us to survive in a Darwinian sense, we need to be alert and aware to that which might be a threat. But as human beings, we take that and go overboard. We perceive threat where there's no real threat. We're just obsessing about it. There's one surefire way to make sure that we can reconnect with ourselves in a more or less post-pandemic world. And that is to get out in nature as much as we possibly can. Our central nervous systems regulate and re-regulate when we're in nature. When we hear chirping birds, when we smell the flowers and the grass, when we feel the breeze on our cheek, we feel reconnected to life itself, of which we are a part. We feel reconnected to the living process. If we're in our homes or our offices and our minds are churning and churning and churning over all these problems, we are actually not connected to ourselves. Author Jon Kabat-Zinn uses this quote from James Joyce in The Dubliner, which says, "Mr. Duffy lived quite a distance from his head." What that's supposed to point out is we're not really even present in our own minds, in our own bodies in this moment. So that is my commitment through Already Famous, to help train and inspire women and girls to rediscover this essential ability, this innate self-confidence, a primordial self-confidence. We've always had it. We just have to re-find it because the world has been so chaotic. We've lost it. But it is inside through an internal compass. And one way to get back to that homeostasis, that ability to be actually present in our bodies in a fulfilling way, is through our breath, through slowing down, and through being in nature. I just have this beautiful orchid that I wanted to bring with me today. And just looking at the magnificence of nature, of a flower, we move into a state of awe. And when we're in that state, when we're like, wow, so beautiful, we lose all that worry. That's pretty much for naught. And we reconnect to our inner essence, where we know that we and the flower are in the same universe, occupying in the same space, and that we get to marvel at it, but also remembering to marvel at ourselves and how awesome we are. And nobody can take that away from us. Nobody, once you know it deep in your heart. So keep following along with Already Famous. If you want inside tips, please join the Already Famous Sisterhood group on Facebook. And I look forward to seeing you there. So remember, be with your breath, spend time in nature so that your central nervous system can recalibrate. It's like going to the spa, only more colorful. And remember, you are enough, and you're already famous in all the ways that really matter.